Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for forcing my stepdaughter to cut her hair? Oh no, this can't go well. I, 31, met my husband, 34 male, 8 years ago, and we have been married for 6. He has an 11-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. I work from home, so I mainly end up taking care of her. I have since she was young. We have a generally good relationship. She stays at her mother's most weekends. She has incredibly long blonde wavy hair just past her bottom. It's a nightmare to take care of. It frequently tangles, and she always needs help brushing and styling it before school. I'm not a morning person, and I do not like having to wake up early to do a kid's hair. It's expensive to maintain as she requires more products. She insists on using hair oils, which can cost around $11 and only last a few weeks. She also insists she has to use curly hair shampoo instead of regular shampoo and conditioner, which is often over $10 per bottle. And she goes through it at a fast rate. She won't use a regular brush on it as she insists it breaks her hair and hurts, so she uses a wide tooth comb, which takes a long time to brush, when she could be doing other more productive things such as homework or helping me with chores. I decided she had become obsessed with her hair, and I do not want her to become vain, so I decided it needs to be cut. Now remember, this is stepmom who decided it needs to be cut. We'll go ahead and get some of these going. I don't see it as a big deal, as I have always had shoulder-length hair, as my hair does not grow very fast and I get frequent trims. It's a lot more practical. I took her to the hairdressers as normal. In the car, on the way down, she said she wants to make sure the hairdresser doesn't cut too much. I politely explained that I would like her to cut her hair to shoulder length as it has become a burden. This kid's 8 years old. Remember this. At first, she thought I was joking, but when she realized, she started to cry. The hairdresser was reluctant to cut her hair due to her tears, but I explained the trouble we have maintaining it and assured cutting it would be best for her. In the end, the stylist agreed and cut her hair. The stylist braided her hair and then cut it. She kept it. Her hair was now just past shoulder length and looked a lot darker. The car journey home was silent. I offered her McDonald's, but she refused. She went straight to her room when we got back. My husband went up to see her when we got home and apparently found her on the bed sobbing, holding her hair. My husband immediately called her mother to come and collect her. As soon as my stepdaughter was out the door, he started yelling. Her mother also came in and gave me a mouthful. I explained my reasoning, but my husband wouldn't budge. He said if I had an issue, he would have done her hair in the mornings and that he didn't mind paying for the products. He was so furious, he said he no longer trusts me around his daughter and doesn't know if he can be with a woman who he doesn't trust with her. This broke my heart. I didn't mean any harm. I was just so tired and I'm trying to reduce stress. I've always been the one to raise her and her brother and I'm just exhausted. Am I the astronaut?
Yes, you're the asshole. Yes.
Yes, you are 1,000% the asshole. This was a terrible, selfish thing to do. This didn't take her feelings into consideration at all. And you know how we know it was a shitty thing to do? And you know how we know that you know it was a shitty thing to do? Because you didn't tell the dad ahead of time. You didn't tell her mom ahead of time. You went and did it covertly and let them find out about it afterwards. If this was something that you felt was truly the right thing to do, you would have had a little meeting with bio mom and dad and been like, hey, here's the deal. Are we all on board? Okay, cool. And you would have found out then everybody was not on board. Instead, you went and imploded your whole freaking relationship because you were burdened fixing a kid's hair. Here's an idea. She's 8 years old, obviously not 100% capable of maintaining complicated hair right now, but you can be teaching her. This sounds more like an issue of you just didn't want to deal with it and you didn't know exactly how to deal with it. So you were just like, whatever, I'm just releasing, I'm relieving stress, removing stress from your life. Okay. If your stepdaughter's hair is stress that has to be removed from your life, how long is it going to take before the stepdaughter being involved in extracurricular activities is a stress that has to be removed from your life? How long before taking her to school? How long before anything else involving this kid? You cannot look at it as a burden. As a parent, yeah, it gets really busy. Yes, there's a whole lot of responsibility. That doesn't mean that you just axe it because it's inconvenient for you. Which just goes to show that you viewed this kid as a burden all along and not as someone that you could have some kind of relationship with. It's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible ASCON 1 thing to do. To an 8-year-old freaking kid without communicating ahead of time to your husband, her dad, or her bio mom ahead of time. Didn't even tell her until you were on the way there where she had no choice. This is the shit thing to do. And I would guess that your relationship is over, which means divorce because you're married. You've been married for 6 years. Oh, no. The kid was 11, not 8. 11. Sorry. Which I think the only thing that changes is an 11-year-old would be a little more apt to learn how to care for things. So you could be teaching them to do self-care because they're going to start exploring in that direction soon anyway. And you might as well do it with some guidance rather than them experimenting with crap on their own and ending up coming down with a freaking mohawk or something. It's terrible.